A miracle delayed is not a miracle denied. What if God's timing feels late, but He is right on schedule? What if your interruption is actually the beginning of your restoration? In Mark 5, verse 21 to 43, we witness two life-changing miracles woven into one incredible story. A desperate father seeking healing for his dying daughter, and a suffering woman reaching for hope after 12 long years. Through these intertwined moments, Jesus teaches us that He sees the unseen, He responds to faith, and He holds authority over sickness and death itself. The story begins when Jesus crosses back over to the Jewish side of the Sea of Galilee. A large crowd gathers, but one man pushes through with urgency: Jairus, a respected synagogue leader. This is not a man who would normally bow at anyone's feet, but his heart is breaking. His daughter, only 12 years old, is dying. In his desperation, pride melts away. He falls on his knees before Jesus, pleading, "Please come lay your hands on her so she may be healed and live." Jesus does not hesitate. He goes with him. Hope is rising, but the path to a miracle is rarely smooth. As they walk, a massive crowd surrounds them, pressing, pushing, slowing Jesus down. Every moment matters to Jairus. Every second could be the difference between life and death. And suddenly, they stop. Because in that same crowd, there is another person. A woman who has suffered from a bleeding condition for 12 years. Not 12 weeks, not 12 months. 12 long years of physical pain. 12 years of social isolation. 12 years of spiritual exclusion. 12 years of being told she was unclean. 12 years of feeling like a burden. 12 years of trying everything and getting worse. Mark tells us she has spent all she had on doctors, but none could heal her. She is exhausted, rejected, unseen. She has no strength left, except for one tiny spark of faith. If I just touch his clothes, I will be healed. She doesn't ask Jesus to stop. She doesn't ask him to speak. She doesn't stand in front of him. She believes a silent touch is enough. She reaches out, touches the edge of his garment, and instantly the bleeding stops. Her body knows she is healed. But Jesus also knows. He stops walking, turns around and asks, "Who touched me?" The disciples are confused. Hundreds of people are pressing against him. How can he ask that? But Jesus isn't asking about random contact. He is asking about intentional faith. The woman trembles. She isn't supposed to be in public. By religious law, her touch should make others unclean. She fears punishment. But Jesus isn't searching to shame her. He is searching to restore her fully. She falls at his feet, just like Jairus did, and tells him the truth. Jesus looks at her and says the word she hasn't heard in years: daughter. Not unclean woman. Not burden. Daughter. Beloved, included, valued. Your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering. Her miracle could have ended quietly, but Jesus wanted her restored publicly, so that everyone would know she was healed, accepted, and cherished again. One touch changed her body. One word changed her identity. But while this woman is celebrating, someone else arrives with devastating news. Your daughter is dead. Why bother the teacher anymore? Imagine Jairus' heart shattering. He must have been thinking, if only Jesus had not stopped. If only we had gotten there sooner. If only this woman hadn't interrupted. Sometimes other people's blessings make us wonder where ours are. Sometimes we watch miracles happen around us while our situation gets worse. But Jesus hears the news and immediately steps toward Jairus with words that can anchor any terrified heart. Do not be afraid, just believe. Faith doesn't mean the situation isn't bad. It means Jesus is still greater. They continue to the house. The atmosphere is filled with wailing and despair. People are mourning loudly. The girl is gone and hope with her. But Jesus says something that shocks everyone. The child is not dead, but asleep. They laugh at him. Not a joyful laugh, but a mocking, cynical laugh. The kind that says, be realistic. It's too late. When others laugh at faith, Jesus keeps working. He sends the crowd out. He takes only the parents and 3 of his disciples. He goes into the room where the girl lies, her body still and lifeless. Death has done its work. Time has run out. But Jesus takes her hand, something no religious leader would do, for touching a dead body brings uncleanness. But purity flows from Jesus, not the other way around. He speaks directly to her, not in Greek, not in Hebrew, but in her own home language, the voice of love she has heard since birth. Talitha kum. Little girl, I say to you, get up. And immediately, not minutes later, she rises. She walks. She lives. Death itself must obey the one who is life. The room transforms from weeping to astonishment, from sorrow to celebration. Jesus then says something wonderfully simple: give her something to eat. Because love cares about details too. This story reveals profound truths about our Savior and our faith. First, Jesus responds to desperation. Both Jairus and the woman fell at his feet. Different backgrounds, different pain, same posture of surrender. Jesus moves with compassion toward those who cry out to him. Second, delays do not mean denial. The woman's healing seemed like a delay, but Jesus was not late. He was preparing a greater miracle. God's timing always carries purpose. Third, Jesus restores identity, not just health. The woman didn't just receive healing, she received dignity. Daughter affirmed her value before everyone. Fourth, faith is not the absence of fear, it is choosing trust in fear's presence. Jairus received the command we all need in crisis: do not fear, just believe. Fifth, Jesus holds authority over both sickness and death. He heals the living and raises the dead. Nothing is beyond his power. Sixth, not everyone will understand your miracle. There will always be doubters and mockers, but their disbelief cannot stop God. Seventh, your story can encourage others. Jesus told the woman to share what he did. His works in you become hope for someone else. Let's bring this into our lives today. Maybe you feel like Jairus. Your situation is urgent. Time is running out. Your heart is desperate for a miracle. Jesus says, do not be afraid. Just believe. Maybe you feel like the woman. You've suffered silently for years. You're tired of disappointment. You feel invisible, unworthy, alone. Jesus calls you daughter, son. You are seen. You are loved. Wherever you are in these scenes, Jesus is walking toward you with power and compassion. You may think God has been delayed, that he missed his moment, that your hope has died. But Jesus still speaks life. He is not limited by human timing. He is not intimidated by impossible circumstances. He is not surprised by your situation. Even death must step aside when Jesus enters the room. Whenever God seems late, it's because he is planning something greater, something that will leave people astonished, something that will reveal his glory in ways no one could imagine. Maybe the miracle hasn't come yet, because it's still growing. Maybe the breakthrough hasn't happened, because the testimony isn't finished. Maybe the healing hasn't arrived, because God is preparing resurrection. Your story is not over. Your child is not forgotten. Your heart is not beyond repair. Your future is not dead. Jesus is coming. He is speaking. He is restoring. He is raising what others say is gone. All he asks is what he asked then. Do not fear. Just believe. Thank you so much for watching this message. If it encouraged you today, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and make sure to follow and subscribe to Holy Path Insights for more faith-building Bible teachings. May the God who heals and restores bring miracles into your life. God bless you.